Understanding those challenges that you describe, which many other Salesforce customers I think face as well. What are the, let's say, no BS, straight guidance strategies and tactics that you have used successfully to get users to use Salesforce, right? Once they go live.
Yes. So in all Salesforce implementations, and I keep professing this a lot of time. I tell folks about that. In all Salesforce implementation, you are going to get four categories of people. You are going to get those who are able and willing to use the platform. Those are your top champions. They are promoters. They will go in. They will help you use it. And then there are those who are able, the ones we just described, they're facing the challenges. They are able to use the platform, but are unwilling to use it. And then you have those who are willing but unable because maybe the platform doesn't suit their business process or something like that. And then you have the last part, which ones that they are unable and they don't want to use it. That's about 10% you don't want to have to worry about. The group that you have to concentrate all your change management effort is the group that's able but unwilling. So you have to find a reason why they are not doing that. You have to
Win them
find
over.
exactly why they are not doing that. If you are able to move that group from unwilling to willing and join your top group, you've done a great job. And then on the third group, where you have folks who are really excited about Salesforce, they heard very good things about Salesforce. They want to use it for their processes, but they are not able to do. You have to find and sit down there with them, find a way that you can customize or you can configure Salesforce to suit their business need. If you are able to concentrate on those two efforts, you will see that all your implementation and your adoption will start taking shape. Because if you are able to, majority of folks, if you are able to convince them with the top thing that we talked about, the value that they will gain from using Salesforce, and they are able to even move the needle a little bit to get in there, you will see that the percentage of the end users that are using your platform will go in. With the third group, where they are actually very excited about Salesforce, all you have to do is make sure that you get their requirements together correctly, and then you make sure that you configure the system for them. Because for any change management, you have to have the awareness and desire. If you've already have the desire and they've already bought into it, then all you need to do is make sure that they have the ability to use the platform.
Very true. So if you put yourself into the shoes of a Salesforce customer that they just went live, they're realizing, hey, adoption is not what we expected, is low. Where do they start? And as they get better, what are the things that they can do in addition to that to scale their efforts, right? To move the needle even farther. And then in your mind, what does great and what does, a best in class adoption in Salesforce looks like?
That's awesome. So this is where I'm gonna give you some really detailed guiding principles that I've used in the past, that I've
Love it.
I've
Awesome.
been able to implement in the past, that I've seen success with. I've get results with. So I'm gonna break down your question in three. The first one is the for a very baseline adoption strategy. So for a small company, the fundamentals of change management. The first thing that you need to do is you have to make sure that you do your analysis. You have to know what are people doing now, what are our users doing now, and then the next thing is then where do you want them to do? Where do we want them to be on the next level? Why? And then the third one is the why. Why are they not doing what you want them to do? If you are able to get that answer to that why, you are able to get the answer to, okay, we want them to do this, they are doing this now, the reason they are not doing it that way we want them is because of this. That's when you put your principles together. You have to understand that, okay, now I know why. Now let's design a change management or an adoption plan or strategy that will solve the why. And then I have As I said, I've over the years, I've come up with 3 or 6 principles that I actually use when you are doing your planning. First, you have to get the leadership to buy in, and they have to lead by example. Even if a middle manager, if it's asking that I need to see this information in Salesforce, I'm not saying this. There's nothing more motivational than a manager in a report that I want to see something somewhere. They will do whatever it is to get in. So you got to get the leadership to buy in and lead it out examples. You bring them, instead of using Excel sheet or PowerPoint to do their meetings, they should use Salesforce to do their meetings. Folks to see, they want to see that they are visible in the application, and that helps. The next one is you also have to then define what success means. So you've now had the why are they not doing it? Now you have to ask the business, what will success mean? We want them to do a particular thing. This is what we wanted them to do. So this is what success looks like. If they are able to give you a success measure or something that they want to see all of everybody doing, that's the next thing. The next thing is you also have to make sure that you align the Salesforce functionalities to the business process. It's not the other way around. You are not working for Salesforce. You are using Salesforce to solve that problem. So you have to make sure that the processes that are in Salesforce are aligned with the business process. They are practical things that are actually doing to solve their business process. And then the next one is you have to go beyond just the classroom. After you train, you have to make sure that you are following up. You have the 5 principles of change management: awareness, desire. Then you go to the knowledge and the ability. You have to make sure folks actually know it. And then after that, you don't stop there. You do the reinforcement, and then you go make sure that the
Support
last thing
performance.
is
Mhm.
exactly the last thing is to measure your processes with the success metrics that you do. Measure and iterate. If there's something that's not working well, you change it, and then you modify it to suit the business. After you've done that, I think those are practical, very practical steps that you can do to move, do the foundations of change management, and then move ahead with it.
Very pragmatic framework